Welcome back to Slam Shenanigans. Thanks for checking in, guys. I apologize. It's been a minute, and I guess I wonder why I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. A video every 2 months isn't good. Anyways, you can tell I'm walking down this road here. This is a mountain access road, we'll call it, and I was hired to extend it at the bottom, and that's really what the main project is. But when I started this, the homeowner asked me if I could make this road a little bit better. As you see up here at the top, it's not too bad. It's pretty level, not really overgrown, but if you look to the right, there's no swale for the water to be controlled. So as we get going down here, I'll kind of stop, and I think I show you where the water comes in from the mountainside up above us. There's a rock there that I'll move out of the way eventually. And actually started a road in this road. This road was probably put in a few years ago and hasn't been maintained for well over a year. And I don't think it's been driven on for good through the winter. You'll see it gets down here, it gets a little overgrown. But what I'm doing is kind of showing you the beforehand. You can see some green in here. This was earlier in the summer. There was still some moisture. This is where, if you look real close, you can see some ruts. I think I actually stop here in a minute and show you how deep they are. Some of them are about 6-8 inches. It's really hard to tell on video, but here's where the water kind of came off the hillside. There's a culvert quite a ways up. I'm trying to show some of the erosion here, which is really hard to see on camera with all the rocks and the shadows and the grass that's overgrown here. But so while he hired me to do things at the bottom of this road, he's like, hey, can you grade this or re-level it or kind of clean this up? And I said, yeah, actually, there's my foot. I said, yeah, actually, to the homeowner, I have a new implement that I would love to try this on. This road's about 1,300 feet. And I bought recently what is called a soil conditioner or power rake. One of the trade names, a Harley rake. So these things are basically a drum with very hardened knobs on them. It's kind of almost a rototilling process, if you will, but it's pretty much for gravel roads. It's phenomenal. Used a lot on the East Coast. Haven't really seen them out here on the West Coast, and this is where you can see the flies up here in the mountains are horrendous. And this is another area where it's still a little bit wet. And once I go through this, you'll see it's actually got some moisture in it, which is great for grading and anything. Anyways, back to the implement. It's called the soil conditioner. And what it does is it tills the soil, if you will. It tills the gravel road base, and it gets down to the bottom of the potholes, if you have potholes, or the little washouts, and basically tills up all this rock, redistributes all the fines within the rock and makes it very consistent. And it levels, so it basically scrapes, tills, levels all in one pass. It's amazing. Where traditionally you'd have to rip this up with rippers, come back with a box blade or a angle blade and scrape this and level it. So multiple passes, maybe 2, 3, 4 passes with ripping, just to make sure you got all the way across, all the way down to the bottom of the potholes, and then several passes with some sort of grading implement. So you have to haul in more equipment. You have to make multiple passes, where this thing, as you'll see here in a bit, does this mostly in one pass. I went down and came back up. I kind of widened some spots, but literally it's a one-pass implement for gravel roads. So anybody up here in the mountains, check out Haslam & Sons Excavating. I'll try to maybe link it finally in one of these things. I started out the YouTube channel as kind of a personal thing, and now I'm kind of using this for my business side also. So this is actually down at the very bottom where the homeowner actually hired me for this job, which is to make a little bit more access down here into the bottom and a turnaround area for his side-by-side. There's a little creek down there that they like to sit at. But anyways, this is the previous or before shots, if you will. Like I said, it's real hard with the shadows and the grass to see just how bad this was. But and this is a side job to the main job that I was hired for. And you'll see what this soil conditioner will do. You'll see the skid steer windows kind of coming out of the trees there. And I tried to, in most of my videos, I leave at least a little bit of it real time so that you guys can get a a gauge and a judge for how long this actually takes. This implement, while it is one pass, you go very slow. It's a very controlled process, and you just kind of take your time, but one pass and you're done. It's literally, you're level, you're ready for some moisture and some compaction, if that's what you're doing. So hopefully I'll be utilizing this implement on jobs more often. Like I said, this one, because I'm doing so much work down here, I did not bother to bring in the water buffalo or any source of water. I believe I ran the compactor over this afterwards just just to kind of, just out of habit, more or less, just to kind of compact that back in. Everything that's on this road basically right now is just side-by-side and quad traffic for the homeowner, so there's not a lot of weight to it. But you'll see in future videos, I end up building a natural rock wall with some very, very large boulders, if you see my Instagram or anything. So just the matter of trying to get those boulders down here was, I tore the road up again anyways. They're so big, you couldn't lift them, so you just barely get them off the ground and kind of bring them on down. Some of them came from like well over a mile away, all on his property, but so now you can start to see the implement a little bit here. So it's basically, it's got some guide wheels out front, attaches to the loader, and it's this big solid 10-inch drum with, I believe they're titanium? No, tungsten nubs on it. So you'll see, I don't remember if I slowed this pass down for you, but I do slow one down in the future of this video to show you exactly what it does. But it's 84 inches wide, I believe. Those solid things that you're looking at there is actually the guide bar. And as you see it going past, you'll see the drum rotating and throwing the rocks up. So when you go forward, you're rotating to where the rocks are being thrown out in front of you. And so that way any large rocks just keep getting pushed out. You can actually windrow them if you want. And then all the fines, the smaller rocks go up and over the drum, and you're ended up with a very, very level, nice, perfectly prepared, scrape down to the bottom of the potholes or ravines or whatever. And as you see this dust clear, this is what you're left with in one pass, which is amazing compared to traditional methods of ripping and then grading and grading. So it's just an incredible implement. Very, very impressed with it so far. And like I said, they utilize these implements a lot in the East Coast, but not so much on the West Coast. So here I just kind of moved the camera and I left a little bit of this in here where I'm jumping in and out. So this is where it got a little bit wetter. I think I took a little bit lighter pass. There wasn't as much erosion, so I didn't need to dig down so much. It looks like it's only going in a couple inches, but it's pushing 6 or 8 or 10 inches of a mound in front of it. So this thing's really getting down there in terms of getting to the bottom of the little washouts and potholes or whatever. You know, you could do multiple passes. If you had a really, really, like a 20-year-old road that's super hard packed and it's got 8 or 10 inch potholes in it, you just maybe make a couple passes. But for something like this, it's literally one pass. And you can see from the dust, even in this wet area, look at the dust. You know, you saw the flies when I was walking down. This is summertime in the mountains. Very, very dusty. I wasn't super concerned with fire because this is, you know, like I said, it's tungsten against rocks. You can make sparks, but this was fairly early in the season. Right now, I'd actually be kind of nervous. I'm finally making this video in like late August, so right now it's super hot and dry, and I would be nervous about creating a fire. I'd probably wet everything down before I did something like this right now. But late fall, early spring is perfect time to fix your roads, either right before or right after the winter. It's a phenomenal time to do something like this. And so because this is one pass and so efficient for me, it basically ends up as a cost savings to you, anybody that's looking to have this road work done. So again, kind of showing real time how long it takes, but again, it's one pass, not 3 to 7 with traditional means. So, and this was just it was probably my first big test. Like I said, the road is 1,300 feet long of what you're seeing here, and the work that I'm putting in at the bottom is going to add a loop and a turnaround area, probably another 800 to 1,000 foot. So eventually in future videos, you're going to see this entire road re-rocked with road base, A lot of large rock called in for what I have to grade down below, because this is, you saw the dust. This area where I'm working in the Sierras is just, it's blown in on lava cap mostly. Anywhere you see trees, there's a pretty good amount of fill to where you can actually grade things. If it's brush, then it's pretty much rock right below some dust, or just a lot of dust. And you'll see that in future videos. But yeah. Again, I apologize. It's been so long. It's when you're under 1,000 subscribers as a creator, part-time creator like I am, and you're hoping to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, so that you become monetized and maybe put a little bit more effort into this and get some better equipment for filming. It's you see them go up or down by 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, subscribers, and you're just like, oh, you get excited when it goes up, and you go up and it's like, oh, 598, oh shoot, 597, darn it, I lost one. It's kind of depressing, but it's all within my control, and it's because I'm not putting enough videos out there. So make some comments, give me some encouragement, or criticism, whatever you want. Just interact with me and get me going to where I put more of these out. I've got a lot of content stored on my phone because that's all I record with right now. I just have not had the time to get to it. I've been doing this on the side, my full-time job, and I'm also trying to sell a rental. So life has been busy, and a new grandbaby. That was awesome too. So I think I posted that. So yeah, but this is video, and this is just, the dust is just hanging. I don't remember if I sped this up or not. I think I do here in a minute. But yeah, from that big dark spot on the right, which is a stump of a tree that pulled over. That's another thing I'm probably going to do for this homeowner, is pull that tree down. Yeah, I think this is where I speed it up. So you'll see the dust moving. The cloud moves a little faster. But from that dark spot, that stump, to the end of the road, which I think you saw on my first walk down, is probably another 300-400 feet. So basically on this run, I'm going down, I'm turning around, I'm coming back one more time, which is the second pass. Really not needed. Part of it's for widening in certain spots, and part of it's just to get the equipment back up here because I was done. So yeah, and this is when it like I said, this job started out as hey, can you punch in a little road, just a trail wide enough so I can get my side-by-side down here and turn around, and I get my wife down here to hang out by our creek. And I was like, sure. And then it got to where it's like, oh, can you make that a little wider and make it where I can turn around? And I was like, sure. Then it's like, well, can you redo the road? Yeah, sure. And then it's like, can you pull that stump down? I go, well, look at that one. And there was a widowmaker way up at the top of this thing that was, I didn't even see it the first couple times. So I went and looked at this job, and the gentleman's like, can you get that down? I looked at it, and it's probably 8 inches, an 8-inch branch that was probably 50 feet long, hung up in this tree, probably 14, 16 feet up was the lowest part. So I looked at it and figured, well, I don't want to try and pull that down with the excavator or anything else because it's probably going to fall in the cab and break things. So I figured I'd throw a little throw sack up there and get something bigger on it and then pull it down. Well, one of the times when I was walking the excavator down there, I was like, I'm going to see if I can stay on the uphill side and, maybe swipe this thing down. So I got that widowmaker down for him. And it was literally an 8 or 10 inch branch where it started that was hung up, and it was probably 50, 60 feet long, this branch. But I got it down so it's no longer a safety hazard because it was hanging right over the road. So I got that down. And it's just the job keeps evolving. It's like everything I do, the gentleman's like, wow, you do good. Can you do this more? Can you do that more? And it turned out into, can you take some of these big boulders around my property and make a little retaining type wall here for a flat spot? And so I ended up doing that, and that was fun. You guys got to hang out and watch for a future video because that's really cool. It turned out fantastic. Anyways, it's been a fun job. Like I said, I do this as a side hustle. So it's fun. I enjoy the equipment work. Yeah, so going back to the the consistency and the subscriber issue, I apologize to all you guys that are our subscribers that I'm not more consistent. But like I said, if you could please, on one hand, give me a little bit of understanding, knowing that this is a side hustle and the YouTubing does take quite a bit of time to do the editing and put things together. And I kind of wing it, and I do it fairly simply with a phone, and my style's kind of evolved into a voiceover. But give me some encouragement, give me some harassment, do something to get me going and get me motivated on making more content for you guys. And then maybe I'll throw some stuff out here a lot more consistently and have something to work towards. And if I do get to that 1,000 subscriber thing and get monetized and actually have a couple dollars floating in here, I'm going to look at a drone for one, probably a better camera, and then maybe try to venture out and actually do some on film, on video talking to you guys. So rather than the voiceover and commentary on it. So let me know what you think. Throw a comment down there. It's like I'm a typical YouTube channel in terms of there's probably 98+% of you that watch this consistently that are not subscribed. So hit that button, dude. And gals. Well, gals are dudes to me too anyways. Here's where I slow it down. Sorry, I'm going to squirrel out here. This is where I slow it down to where hopefully you guys can kind of see this implement work a little bit. It's so dusty. It's really hard to see, but this thing is basically a reverse rototiller on a drum, and you can see it just moving the rocks up there. And it literally is a one-pass wonder. It's phenomenal. But anyways, back to the YouTube stuff. Like I said, whether it's encouragement or harassment, fun harassment, shoot it out there in the comments, get me going so that we can get to 1,000 subscribers and I can actually do some better stuff for you. Get some drone shots of this would be really cool. You kind of get a better idea of what it is. And the drone also, I think I could actually have it track me versus, me setting up and you seeing like 10 seconds of this thing close and then it's off. Well, number one, I'm working. Number two, it's like I can't be that serious about YouTube. The job priority has to be the job. And again, with all my priorities of home life and work life and this sub work, as a side hustle, there's a lot of things going on. So I can't get out and move the camera every time. But if I do get monetized, get a drone, I could have the thing fly right in front of you and you'd see this whole thing. So it'd be better content for you. And like I said, it's free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get my numbers up there, let the YouTube algorithm like me a little bit more, and get you guys some better content. But this soil conditioner, going back to the business side of it, if anybody's watching this that lives in the mountains or just anywhere, and you have a gravel road that needs to be maintained, hit me up or look up somebody in your local area that has a soil conditioner or a Harley rake or a power rake. The things are phenomenal. Here's some after shots. Again, future work will be a swale down this entire thing. I'll show you the work down at the bottom. So here's the walk after, and I think I sped this up to 2 times. You can probably hear my footsteps being a little faster, crunchy. But I'm going to add a swale on the right-hand side of this the entire way down. I don't think I'm going to replace the 2 culverts that are here. Homeowner asked if we should upsize them, and I don't really think so, especially if I put 3 or 4 inches of road base on this to where the road is more elevated, even in addition to the swale on the right that I'm going to put it. It's not there right now. So what you're looking at is just basically a 1 pass. It's 2 because I came back up, but it was all pretty much done with 1 pass with this soil conditioner. This is the area that was really washed out. This is the area just uphill from where it was really washed out. I kind of stopped. I think I stop up here and I actually show you where the water comes in, like right here. Yep. So what I'm doing is the water came in there, it eroded across the road and kind of all the way down into that where that green is, and it kind of sat there. So this is all completely level, perfect now. And so once I get everything done down below, cut the swale in, I'll probably looking at a couple 100 yards of road base just for the 1,300 feet of this. But again, just phenomenal job with one pass. Can't speak highly enough of this. And the unit I bought from a company called Jenkins Iron to Steel, and I have no problem throwing a shout out to them because American made, family owned, solid stuff. I've got 3 implements I think from them now, maybe 4, and everything I get is just super solid. The 2 I use the most probably are the soil conditioner, used on this job quite a bit, and then I use the grapple that I got from them that's just phenomenal. It's a dual top clamshell grapple. It's I think they call it a root rake grapple, but it's made for roots and logs. It's not a solid pan bottom. Just phenomenal piece of equipment, just like this soil conditioner is. And again, this is towards the bottom. This is where the majority of the work has happened already. I just haven't got it in video form yet. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you hit that subscribe button. Hope you hit that like button and give me some harassment or some encouragement or whatever you want in the comments. It's all appreciated, and it'll get me motivated to produce more comment. Just closing with some of these last final shots here of what it turned out to be. Thank you.